Come with us where the corn is popped and the throwback Thursdays never stop. It's a magical land not far away. All you have to do is just press play. So hop on the couch and close your eyes. Gonna party like it's 99. Join us, watch the movies of our lives with Blockbuster Wives.
Welcome to Blockbuster Wives, where your two favorite 90s babies talk about movies from the era of a certain blue and yellow video rental store. I'm your host with the most late fees, Shea Baby.
And this is Stacy, not always kind, but always rewinds. And you're listening to
Blockbuster Wives.
We're back with Mindfuck February.
Welcome, 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 welcome,
Welcome.
welcome, 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 welcome to Mindfuck February.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go listen to She's the Man episode and watch She's the Man.
And then listen to the next episode about Donnie Darko, where we explain Mindfuck February, if you couldn't figure it out. But I know you guys can, because you're very smart.
And then listen to the last episode we did, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, because that also has David Cross.
Which brings you right back here.
It all makes sense.
Episode.
Are we mind-fucking you yet? Because I'm lost.
Yeah, are you feeling it?
I'll
Are you
be
feeling
quite honest.
mind-fucked? I hope you are.
So explicit.
Happy past Valentine's Day, guys. Hope you had a good one. Hope that was a cute little romantic surprise for you. You know, Stacy and I always talk about how she and I try to surprise each other, learn new things about each other to keep our fire alive.
You know?
We're trying to do the same for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Because we care. We love y'all.
Hope you had a shit ton of those delicious Valentine's Day hearts.
Yeah. I don't know. We're recording this in advance, so I don't know if I'm going to... I hope I can find some of those fruity ones because they're so good.
We're talking to you from the past.
Indeed.
How are things in the future?
Good, I hope.
Do we have flying cars yet?
I believe we will.
Where are they?
What about the microwavable pill thing from fucking Spy Kids where you put it in the microwave and it's a McDonald's meal?
I did not remember that from Spy
Oh.
Kids. You microwave a pill and it turns into McDonald's?
All I remember from that movie is that and like giant thumbs? Am I wrong?
Those things are fucking satanic
Are they
beasts.
thumbs or like full
Oh,
hands?
they're just thumbs.
Jesus.
Which is worse. They're called thummies, and they're
Bummies?
just thummies.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure, or like thumbos or some shit.
Thummies.
Some dumbass
I
name.
hate every sound that I just made. Gross.
And fun fact about Spy Kids. So, which I always try to bring up anytime this movie comes up, which is surprisingly
I need
often.
to hear whatever the fuck this is gonna be.
Okay, so you know how like their uncle, grandfather, whoever the hell he is, the guy who's like teaches him everything he knows about being a spy guy.
Antonio Banderas?
No, it's the other guy who also stars in Machete.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Well, those universes are linked. Like they are in
Machete
a shared
and-
universe. Machete and Spy Kids. He plays the same character in both.
What?
I kid you not.
Is Spy Kids in the future?
I don't know. I don't know if Machete's in the future. I've never seen it.
Okay, we need to do Spy Kids. We need to do a spy
We
movie
do.
month.
I do remember just the bad guy was like Martin Freeman. Who was it? Whoever he was like really scary to me, and I did not like him one bit.
I have to be honest. The two things I mentioned at the beginning are the only things I fucking remember. And what I know now is the little kid from the movie, is his name Junie or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
He's married to fucking Megan, whatever her name is. Trainer.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
They're married and they have kids.
Okay, I've confirmed it.
Okay.
Isidore Cortez, primarily known under the alias Machete, is a fictional character in the Spy Kids films,
Oh
the
my
Grindhouse Fake Trailer, and the Machete films. The character is played by Danny Trejo.
What the fuck? Dude, and
Right?
Danny Trejo is in like everything.
He's amazing.
He's in so much shit. It's very fucking badass. But what?
Yeah. Pretty wild.
I feel like I need to know more about both of these movies.
I don't know why this character exists in both of these films.
I think
But
we
it
need
is.
more of that. We need more characters that are central in like a lot of different movie universes.
Yeah, particularly the Spy Kids universe.
Yes.
And Machete.
Hard agree. I think everyone here agrees, right? You guys
Yeah,
raise your hand if
You're
you
on the same
agree.
page. And you love
Cool.
hearing all these Spy Kids facts. I know you
Dude,
do.
I wish there were more Spy Kids facts. I want more. But you know what? Let's save that for Spy
Yeah.
movie month.
One more thing, though.
Yes.
I saw a hilarious tweet that says, y'all need to stop wearing your Apple Watches to formal events because y'all just look like Spy Kids.
Dude, I don't have any desire to wear an Apple Watch.
I have one. I should wear it more. It is nice because we're so attached to our phones.
Yeah.
And we should see them as like emergency devices, but we
don't.
The advantage of the Apple Watch is it truly is like there if you need it, but otherwise like you can't get sucked into it the way you can a phone.
And it's kind of like bare bones, right? Like
it's very bare bones.
Cool.
Which is good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
To me, I see it as people, because the people that I've seen use it don't use it in that way. They use it in addition to. Like, I feel like they have their phone on them, but they also have the Apple Watch. But they all, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
But I like it because I can like go to the grocery store with just my Apple Watch.
Yeah.
And it's like if there's an emergency or whatever, I can still call. But I also like I don't need my phone.
Totally. Yeah. I think you're using it the right way.
Thanks.
But no, that they do look like some Spy Kids shit, some fucking Inspector Gadget looking ass.
Absolutely. Well, I think that concludes our Spy Kids portion.
Yeah, let's just zip the lip
because today we're talking about the one, the only Fight Club. What a movie!
Wowza! I forgot just how violent. I mean, I know it's like in the name, but like there's a lot of fighting in the movie.
Like I didn't like all the fighting.
I'm like, there's like a lot of punching and bloody noses, which I wasn't really expecting. No, but like
a lot of bloody noses. That's
quite
the
a lot.
One thing.
I'm like,
a
count
lot
them.
of fucked up teeth,
dude. Lots
which
of fucked up
I don't love
teeth.
seeing.
Jared Leto looking fucked, which I was
Yeah.
like, sick.
Looks like the fucking orc in Two Towers.
He
You know the
He
pale
looks
one.
like the guy from fucking The Goonies.
Yeah. Okay, real quick. Another side note.
Like another Spy Kids. Fun
about
fact.
the orc in Lord of the Rings. I have to get this man's name because he is my hero. But somebody made a list of all the orc daddies in Middle Earth.
What the fuck?
And if you are a fan of Lord of the Rings movies, you simply have to read this because it is the funniest shit I might have ever read in my entire life. It's by Kyle Wilson and it's on Polygon, which is a great queer site. And it's just called The Orc Daddies of Middle Earth Ranked. And it is amazing. I'm going to send it to you right now.
Okay, send it to me. I want to see who these daddies are.
That's your homework for tonight.
I'm a big orc daddy fan.
I mean, you haven't seen all the films, so you won't immediately
Nope. I've only seen the first one.
get it, but I think you'll still find the articles funny.
Did you just okay, let me see. Oh my god.
So save that for later.
By the way, the two things that Stacy sent me in a row. Number 1, Skin of a Killer by the Cullens.
Y'all, I cannot stop listening to this album. Another side note, there's this amazing album from 2009 by Edward and the Cullens, but they just go by the Cullens on Apple Music. And they have a little short 15-minute album that's all about Twilight. It's cool rock, punk music. Go listen to it.
Fuck yeah. And then right after she sent me this, and you see one of the orc daddies with red eyes and like fucked teeth, but then there's like a billion hearts and someone's saying, I heart orcs. And
We
like,
should screenshot this and post it on the account.
Honestly,
Like, hard at work.
I'm like, text from the wife, am I right?
Oh, man.
There we go. Okay.
But while you're doing that, I can get into some corporate bullshit for Fight Club.
Sounds good.
Because I got a lot of facts and figures.
Corporate bullshit.
Some bullshit.
Okay. So, Fight Club came out in the fall of 1999. Strangely, it was released in Venice a month early.
Why do they do that in certain
US
cities?
release. I don't know why Venice. But that's what it was.
Was it like a film festival maybe?
It just said Venice.
Weird.
Oh, there is a Venice Film Festival.
Yeah, I think
maybe
so.
it is that. Maybe that's it.
But
It
still.
is based on a Chuck Palahniuk book by the same name, which he was a big old deal, I feel like, when you were in middle school and high school.
Yeah, I had friends that had like all of his books and were like fucking obsessed.
He was like a very bro-y writer, I think.
For sure. And
Definitely
this,
catered towards the male gaze.
let's just say it, this is like maybe every film bro that I know, every like white film bro that I know, this is their favorite fucking movie. Almost every dude, if you ask like, what's your favorite movie? They'll say fucking Fight Club.
Or
like,
they did at some time.
Or they did at some
They
point.
probably have moved past it now, but at some point,
yeah,
it was their favorite fucking movie.
Dude, almost every dude I've asked, like, what's your favorite movie? Almost every fucking time. Oh, definitely like Fight Club is up there. Like that's number one. Usually
but do you think
the one
it's
that
because it is so aggressively for men?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like not at all for the female gaze whatsoever.
Sometimes I feel like, so as women, we are very used to being marketed towards.
Yes.
Because like women buy like 90% of consumer goods.
Mm-hmm.
It's like basically all ads are for us. And like cars and wristwatch and whatever, those have been towards men. But most everything is towards women.
Yep.
And sometimes I feel like men are not prepared for marketing directed at them because they're not used to it.
Right.
And it's like weirdly easy to like make them obsessed with something.
Super easy.
It's like
oh my God.
not that serious.
Well, can I bring something up to go along with this?
Yes.
Did I interrupt you?
No.
Okay. Okay. There's this dude that I was talking to at one point. What up if you're listening to this, Seamus? His brother it's his brother's company, Dude Wipes.
Yes,
you know what I'm talking about?
I've heard of these.
They're just fucking ass wipes, literally, that are called Dude Wipes. It's just like black background, white letters, Dude Wipes. Dudes go fucking ape for this company. Almost every dude I know that's like a single bachelor has fucking Dude Wipes, either the individual packs or the actual like giant, like, you know, actual like full packs of them.
Mm-hmm.
Why? They're more expensive? Like, you know, like it's just because it's advertised for them. Dude Wipes.
That's what I mean, and I feel like they're just unprepared.
Yeah.
Or like these advertisers, this is actually perfect for today's movie, but all this new crop of like male influencers.
Yeah.
But
yes.
I don't think a lot of these men realize they are just influencers.
Right.
And they really think like, no, these people care about me and they want me to succeed. And I'm like, no. They want you to be angry and pissed off and insecure. So you click their shit and you buy what they're selling. Period.
They just want they want your fucking money, and that's literally
dollar bills. And you know what keeps that money rolling in? You fucking watching them.
Yep.
So yeah, they make you feel like angry and then happy and then like they're keeping you on a roller coaster ride, babes, because they want your money.
Psychology.
And they're just like, I feel like as women we know, like we still fall for it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we know we're being made to feel insecure, so that we'll buy shit.
Well, we've been conditioned to it our entire fucking lives.
Yeah. And
like
we know it's that.
We know. We fucking know. And even though we know, there's still something in the back of our heads that's like, you need to buy this because you want to be pretty. And you're like, you're right.
Well, and I also feel like that women are like, we know we're just keeping up with the rat race to a certain extent. Like, we just know, like, this is what we all
kind
have
of
to fucking
have
do
to.
now.
We
like,
have
this
to.
is now the standard, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know?
And a lot of, like, we literally, like, our money is dependent on us following this rat race
That's
bullshit.
kind of like a necessary evil.
Yeah.
Men have, I think, previously been able to avoid a lot of that. But now I'm like, oh no, bros, they're coming for you. They're coming for you with the Dude Wipes. They're coming for you with the skincare. They're fucking coming for you.
The scent, like the scents that are marketed towards men, which are hilarious, by the way.
So in some ways, it's like, okay, I guess this is more egalitarian because now men are going to have to give up a shit ton of their money too for this dumb shit. But yeah, I just, like I said, I don't think they're ready for it. And I think they really think that these people like them.
Yeah.
And like care about them.
Absolutely.
And want them to succeed. And it's like, no.
1000. And I think like getting back to Fight Club, I think this was like one of the first movies that was strictly made for men and the male gaze.
Oh yeah.
And that's why, as I'm sure you were getting to, that's why it's like every fucking dude's favorite movie, because they're like, it was made for me.
And like, yeah, I do have it hard. Thank you.
Yeah.
It is hard to be a man today. And it's like, oh God.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah, meanwhile, like people of color and women are just like rolling their eyes so hard.
Yeah, like, oh really? Cool. Great. Fucking thanks.
Like, yeah,
Awesome.
It seems really hard to be you, Edward.
It's so hard to get everything so
I know, in your
easy.
nice apartment. It's too nice, actually. And it's like, oh my God.
I'm like, yeah. And then cuts to, spoiler alert, the main character is literally just hitting himself. Yeah. Like, that is a perfect fucking showcase into, like, you make your own fucking problems, loser. No,
Yeah. Okay, well,
anyway, sorry.
we went off the rails after the first fact of corporate bullshit. But let me continue.
Yeah, please continue.
Okay, where was I? Chuck Palahniuk. Okay.
Okay, you know what? Let me just say this off the bat. We're going to also be angry.
We're gonna have a lot of feelings.
There's a lot of anger that's going to come out of this. Okay, keep going.
Well, okay, real quick, we should acknowledge this. Why did you pick this movie for Mindfuck February?
Oh, okay. I picked this movie because, number one, it's like every film bro's favorite movie. And all I remembered about it was very like psychological. And I didn't really remember much besides that. And I knew that there was a twist at the end, and I thought, okay, this is really cool because it'll cover a lot of bases, and I'm sure people would want this one. And it fits into our timeline. And also, I just wanted to watch it again because, like I said, like every fucking dude's favorite fucking movie, and I was just like, you know, I would love our take on this. You know,
yeah, it's an incredibly influential film, I think.
Absolutely, in a lot of ways.
A lot of young minds.
Yep.
Okay, back to corporate bullshit. Wow. Directed by David Fincher, who's directed so many movies. He's directed Seven, Panic Room, Zodiac, Benjamin Button, Social Network, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Gone Girl, like hits. He also directed some music videos by Madonna.
Ooh.
So he's had a long career, robust career. This dude knows how to make movies, period.
Makes sense. I mean, it was filmed very well. It was very cool.
It starred Brad Pitt and Edward Norton and Helena Bonham Carter.
Queen.
Those are the three main people, but also special appearances by Meatloaf and a very young Jared Leto.
Yes. Pretty boy.
Yeah, very little tiny man.
Yeah.
The budget was $65 million, which is a lot.
Holy fuck.
Thinking about how Eternal Sunshine was only $20 million?
And it's more than triple that.
I think because all the CGI. This is heavy on the CGI.
Yeah, and it's probably one of the earliest, like, big CGI movies, yeah? Or no?
Yeah, they used it a lot, and it's like, it doesn't look terrible. I think the saving grace is it's a very dark, gritty movie.
Yes.
It's like everything's like blue and green filter, like very dark, so it's like the CGI looks less terrible.
Yeah.
But it's still not great.
No, it's not great.
It boxed $102 million, though.
Fuck.
So successful.
Damn.
It only got a 79% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, but a 96% audience score, which I think is the highest we've seen.
That's our highest.
Super high.
Yeah.
Ebert did not like it.
He didn't like it?
He did not. He gave it 2 stars and called it macho porn.
L-O. Our boy Ebert.
He was like, this is fucking trash.
I mean, it is macho porn. That's for damn sure.
And he had a criticism that I agree with, where it's like, it starts off so strong. It starts off so good.
Yeah.
And then it kind of starts to go in a weird direction, and then it just drags on for a while until you get to the twist.
I agree. I think we'll get to it, but I think there's too much at the tail end with, like, the soldiers and shit.
They could have been eliminated completely, and I feel like they should have been.
I agree with that.
They were a distraction.
I was like, I hate all of this. Like, none of this means fucking dick. Like, we'll get to it.
And I feel like they took their time and had such good pacing at the beginning. It was good. And then, like, the movie's over 2 hours long.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours and 10 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you spent so much time at the beginning, which is great, and then you're, like, rushing at the end to fit in this weird, like, cult national network shit where it's like, you don't need this.
No.
But it's probably in the book.
Yeah. Probably.
But if I were doing the adaptation, no.
Or at least, like, point towards the fact that, like, obviously he's influential enough to gain this, like, army or whatever.
Yeah, like, why is the Fight Club not enough? Why does it have to be, like, a nationwide network?
Right.
Like,
and, like, him traveling to every city. Like, there's just no... And that went on way too long.
Yeah, and I don't think he's disassociating that long. And I'm going to talk about dissociative identity disorder, because this movie is not, shocker, very accurate about the disorder.
Yeah, no. Not at all. Okay, yeah. But...
And then I have another Ebert quote.
Nice.
It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything, Tyler Durden says, sounding like a man who tripped over the Nietzsche display on his way to the coffee bar in Borders. In my opinion, he has no useful truths. He's a bully, Werner Erhard plus S&M, a leather club operator without the decor. None of the Fight Club members grow stronger or freer because of their membership. They're reduced to pathetic cultists.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
I hardcore agree.
So, yeah, not a fan at all.
No. Clearly not.
No, and that's my corporate bullshit.
Dang.
You know what the first place I watched this was?
Where?
Your house?
With me?
While your family was in Canada.
Oh, then that might have been the only time I ever watched it was with you.
No, you were gone.
I was watching when you were watching Bruno?
R.I.P. King.
You know what's so weird about you saying that? I just read the diary entry of me explaining you coming over and us giving you money for that trip.
Aww.
So that's really, really weird.
Yeah,
like,
that's the first time I watched it.
I was like, my parents gave her $100. They're actually being cool.
Yeah, I was just chilling with Bruno watching Fight Club.
That's so sweet. Little Bruno, R.I.P. Yeah, I probably watched it around the same time, and I've only seen it the once. So.
Oh, really? I had seen it, so I saw it for the first time then, which we were in high school. Probably like 16?
Yeah, like 15, 16.
Well, I just got in my car, so I would have been 16.
16, you're right.
And then I watched it a couple times in college, and then I recently watched it with Chantal.
Oh.
Maybe like a couple months ago.
Oh, cool.
Because she was like, it's such a famous movie, I had never seen it. And I was like, yeah, you should watch it. It's like,
yeah,
it's important to a lot of people.
I think it's good to watch because you can, not relate, but you can like see where people are coming from when they're trying. It's such a fucking. You're like, okay.
Yeah, and some of it I fucks with.
Me too.
Like,
a lot of like anti-consumerism, anti-capitalist, like that shit is sick. There's a lot of cool quotes in it, I will say.
Yeah, very quotable movie, which I think is part of its appeal.
But the end is just like, okay, I don't know. Like it. We'll talk about it. Okay. Anyway,
I typed, is this the most bro movie ever?
Yes. It is. Which is why like I really watched it in 2 parts. I had to watch it.
You had too much.
I watched like 1 hour and I was just like, ugh. Like, I don't know what. There was just too much masculine energy. And it's like toxic masculine energy, right? Like so much violence and like just. There's like no women in the movie. There's one woman.
Yeah.
And that's it?
And she's fucked, literally.
Yeah. And she's like tossed around like nothing for like the entirety of the movie.
Although I will say, she's like a revelation.
Yes.
Like, she's so good in this role.
She's so good.
I literally would, like, stop paying attention anytime she wasn't on screen and then start paying attention when she was on screen. And I was like, yeah. Such a good performance. She sells, like, drug addict very well.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's not the same, but the energy of her role. It's actually, okay, well, let me say this. Fun fact about her. She actually based her whole character off of Judy Garland in her later years. So much so that the director called her Judy a lot because she wanted to like really be in that character, which is, and you can kind of see that.
Yeah, and for anyone who doesn't know, Judy Garland was like totally fucked by the studios and basically purposely addicted to meth, essentially.
Yeah, like lots of opioids
all the time. Yeah.
Heroin's an opioid, right? So meth would be
I think they would like upper with meth and then like put her to bed with heroin. Like, it's bad.
Like sleeping pills and weight loss pills and well, the meth actually made her, anyway, it was just bad, and they all were sexual assaulters and disgusting, and yeah, so by the end of her life she was just not in a good place, which makes sense because nobody would be, and so that's who she based the character off of.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And but I don't know if you guys have ever seen Girl Interrupted. I know you have. Angelina Jolie's character, not the same, but like similar energy. Like I don't know. It just like watching Helena's performance, I was like, they remind me of each other a little bit, you know? Yeah,
because I think it can be hard to play and not come off as annoying or distant. But I feel like she nails it.
Yes. She like a lot of the addicts that I know they have like this magnet energy about them, and I feel like she nailed that. Like even though she's kind of like unhinged a little bit and going off the rails every once in a while and like kind of high maintenance, you still like, you want to see more of her, you want to spend time with her on the screen, like, you know.
Well, and I think that that's like another aspect of the movie that I do like, is like, it is interesting to see people who are just not willing to put up with society's bullshit anymore. And I think that could be very appealing to people. And it's like, oh, that's fucking cool. Like, they don't give a fuck. Like, he lives in an abandoned house. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't work.
And if he does work, he's like pissing in people's fucking soup and shit.
Gross.
How's that? Okay. Let me get to my notes here. okay, I wrote, holy shit, Meatloaf. He is so good in this movie. And he's in so many fucking iconic roles in life.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that he's in this fucking movie, which is obviously like everyone, like every dude's banger. He's in fucking, what's it called? I wrote it down. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Pick of Destiny.
Pick of Destiny.
Like he's just so fucking rad and so
very
talented. And there's a quote where Edward Norton's character, his name is the narrator in the movie. He starts going to support groups. Like, I don't even really know why. It's because his doctor told him to.
Yeah. So the real reason is he is an insomniac, and he's discovered that the only way he can sleep is if he cries, and he gets like this emotional catharsis. For some reason, he gets this tip off about where to get this emotional catharsis from his doctor, who just randomly is like, if you want to see sad, go to this very specific meeting group for men with testicular cancer that meets at this place on Thursday night. Yeah. Bye. And I'm like, okay, clunky as fuck. Yeah. And he's like, okay. So he does it. And that's where he discovers like, oh, I can sleep if I cry.
Right. And how Meatloaf comes in is because Meatloaf's character has testicular cancer. And because of like the estrogen or the lack of testosterone or whatever the fuck, he like developed actual fucking breasts, like giant breasts. And they had to be paired off, and so he was paired off with Meatloaf, and he's just like hugging him in between his tits, and he fucking said, and that was where I fit between those huge sweating tits that hung enormous, the way you'd think of gods as big. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
So dramatic.
I do love like the way he writes is very interesting. It's very unique.
Yeah, and Edward Norton's delivery is great. Like the beginning of the movie is super good.
So good. And it really like pulls you in hardcore. I was very into it at the beginning.
Yeah, it's such a good like world to just be dropped into where you're like, what? Yeah, like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah. And you can, I don't know, you can really like see where he's coming. He's like desperate. He's like, dude, I just want to fucking sleep. And then he finds that, yeah, he gets a catharsis from crying in between giant tits. Relatable.
Or other support groups. He goes all kinds of support groups.
Yeah.
And he goes like blood parasite group or like cancer group, like
random ass. Yeah. And
that's where he meets Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah.
She's also showing up to the same meetings.
And he starts like hating on her, which is, it's funny that it, you know, he's saying like she's like ruining his time.
Yeah, so entitled.
He's so entitled, and he's obviously like, and he like hates her.
He's like, you don't belong here. It's like, bitch, you don't belong here.
Yeah, you do not fucking belong here. We're doing the same shit, but he's just like projecting all this hate onto her because of like, he knows that what he's doing is fucked up. And I just think that that's really relatable, because I think most people hate on shit about other people that they hate about themselves.
Deep.
Just
fucking
saying.
Bars.
So
okay?
it's into bars.
All right. Knowledge on Blockbuster Wives.
I wrote so many notes. Let me see if I can. Oh.
I really think the best part of the movie is before he even meets Tyler Durden.
I agree. Like, just everything written was so great. So he's talking about like consumerism. That's like a big theme in the movie, like being anti-consumerist and like kind of being a zombie to this like fucking capitalist hellhole that we all live in. However, that fucking yin yang table he had was sick as hell.
Yeah, I do like, he talks about like the futility of trying to figure out an item that represents you as a person. Yeah. And how it is kind of crazy that in our capitalist society we are taught to express ourselves with the things we buy.
Right.
Which we all do it, but it's
and you don't think about
shitty.
it.
And I think this is Pete Holmes says this, but he's like, think about who you are, who you truly are, beyond what you buy and your likes and dislikes. I think it's a good question to ask yourself.
Besides your likes and dislikes?
Because so many people, when you ask them, tell me about yourself, it's what they like.
Yeah.
Like their hobbies.
Well, what other things would you tell people about other than what you like and dislike?
Well, that's the thing. It's such a deep question. I don't think you would bring it up in normal conversation, but it's a good thing to reflect on.
I don't know if I could say who I am.
That's the thing. You might not be able to put it into words, but it's a good thing to think about.
besides
What's
what
your
I
homework
like
for
and
tonight in
dislike?
addition to Orc Daddies? Yeah, please read the Orc Daddies list and then reflect on who you are beyond your likes and dislikes.
This has mind fucked me for today because a giant part of who we are is what we like.
Yeah, our preferences.
Our preferences, because it tells us what we want, what we like to do.
But it's
with
also
our time.
a form of consumption. It's deep, yeah.
But like, what are we besides that?
Yeah, you gotta nibble on it.
You know.
All right, everyone.
I will swirl that around in the old pie hole.
Oh, please do.
I'll let you know how it tastes.
Oh, I'm just gonna go real quick back to the intro song.
Yeah.
Because I think something I realize, and I think we realize a lot, is what a low point for feminism it was in the 90s and 2000s. Like, I think it was pretty bad.
Really bad.
And I was just thinking about how this movie starts with a song where the lyrics are literally, smack my bitch up.
Smack my bitch up. You're so
Which
right.
I do like that song, but I don't think you could do that in the 80s. I don't think you could do it. But in the 90s, it was like, yeah, bro, yeah, smack my bitch
Especially the
up.
late 90s.
Oh, yeah. It
Like
was like
late-
a very toxic time where it was like fucking Cali bros were all the rage. Like
And Eminem.
Eminem being like, fuck this, how I'm going to kill her.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
it
gonna fucking
was
kill her.
bad.
Ha, 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 ha. And everyone's like, fuck yeah.
Everyone's like, yeah,
Eminem.
that's cool. And this whole movie is a testament to that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, being a man means being violent. It's like, what?
Yeah, that brings me back to like who we really are besides what we buy and what we do for a living. It's like,
oh, yeah, and that's something Brad Pitt says. He's like, what does he say? He's something like, oh, the world doesn't want us to be men or something to that effect, which is like such a toxic message that is still being pushed today.
Oh,
But like Jordan
completely.
Peterson et al. We're like, the world doesn't want you to be a man. It's like, okay, well, I'm sorry. If your definition of being a man is like beating the shit out of people for no reason, then yeah, I don't think the world wants you to be a man.
Yeah, then I never want to be anywhere fucking around
Like,
any
yeah,
quote unquote man ever fucking again. Fuck you.
If being a man means being like sexually aggressive towards women, no.
No.
Don't like it. Yeah, the world wants you to stop fucking doing that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You've done it for way too fucking long and gotten away with it for way too fucking long. We're done.
And expressing like displeasure that you're not allowed to be an absolute like animal. Like I don't feel bad. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for you. You're not a victim in this scenario, bro.
Like, I can't harm people willy-nilly.
You can't just beat the fucking dog shit out of everybody and then be like, oh no, like fuck off.
You can't be a man. It's like, oh my god, I guess not.
And every fucking podcast that I ever hear of all these dudes, that's what they're talking about. They're trying, like, we need to get back to basics. And it's like, do we? Are those your basics, bro?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, fighting and eating, like, meat and, like, throwing shit at the wall?
Mm-hmm.
Go to a zoo. What is wrong with you? Oh, my God.
That's lame as hell.
You guys are going to hear this paper wrinkling because I wrote notes at work.
ASMR.
So, I apologize. Let's see.
I did write, for someone who's supposed to be above consumerism, Tyler sure does love his gelled hair and red leather jacket.
Period. I was thinking that.
Which reminded me a lot of all these pickup artist dudes. Which, I mean, we're just going to come for the manosphere.
Yeah, sorry about it. Not sorry.
But I was just getting such strong pickup artist vibes from Brad Pitt because that was such a big deal during this time, too.
Yes.
That book coming out and the show and this idea that women weren't actually like fully formed human beings. They were like vessels for men to like manipulate and trick into having sex with them.
Right.
And there was like all these different pieces of advice for like negging women and insulting them so that you lower their self-esteem so then they come crawling to like horrible stuff. Treating women as subhuman didn't work.
No.
Doesn't work.
No.
But yet it was so popular.
I remember there was another book that it wasn't pickup artist, but it was like very in the same vein. And it was this dude, you might remember, I wish I knew the title, but it was like this book that everyone had. And
was
like,
it the 48 Laws of Power or some shit?
Not that one,
Okay.
but it was this dude. It was like a dude that was talking about his own personal experiences of like fucking hella women. And he was like talking mad. He was basically like Barney from How I Met Your Mother, but in real life.
Oh, God.
And like, I even had the book. You know?
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, this was such a crazy time that this was, like, accepted and normal.
Fully fucking
and,
accepted.
like, it's beyond. Like, it's so crazy now.
And there's so many movies about it, so many songs about the shit. Like, it's so fucking weird where people are just talking shit about women to women's faces, wanting to use them, throwing them away, laughing in their faces about it. Like, shit is so fucking gross.
And also, which I think is the worst part, is blaming it on evolutionary psychology, which is a phrase that is bullshit. It's not scientifically supported. It's all a fucking lie. But these men come up with this concept that it's like, oh, it's not me who wants to objectify women and treat them like shit. It's like evolution.
It's my nature.
Because like men were supposed to like fuck a bunch of women, and women were supposed to just like stay home with the kids. So that's natural, and to go against that is unnatural, and that's all bullshit. By the way, I can go on for hours, but I do like Adam Ruins Everything does a great discussion of this. Please check it out. It's amazing. And he says that that's his most controversial episode he's ever done. And he still gets like death threats and people like, you're wrong, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, whoa.
And I mean, obviously all men death threatening him.
And there's just a lot of guys who still subscribe to the shit. And I think
Absolutely.
sadly it's growing with all these male influencers who again have tricked these men into thinking they like actually care about them when they just want their dollar bill.
Yeah.
And you can draw a straight line from the pickup artist shit to incels.
Oh
like,
my
incels
God.
are just failed pickup artists who have now convinced themselves that it's like, well, I guess it's just me inherently. And it's like, no, it's because you're an asshole.
Yeah, literally, it's not because you're a nice guy or because you're not 6 foot whatever or not because you have 6 figures. It's literally because you're a fucking dick and people can smell your desperation, and that rejects all humanity. Like, humans do not, like, evolutionary wise, do not like people who come off as desperate. It's scary to us. We're like, wait, I'm not getting a good feeling from you. I'm gonna bounce.
Or we can tell when you're treating us like objects.
Right.
Like, yeah, you might get some women who don't care or whatever, have their own issues, but like, it's not a good long-term solution.
No, you're not gonna have a quality partner if you're like basically tricking them or like manipulating them or whatever the fuck into being in a relationship with you. It's fucking weird.
But they think they don't need a partner because they're the man. And they just need a subservient bitch to fuck.
Right.
Which is just like, again, you can't dehumanize women to this level and then expect to just be like, have it all going on in life. Like, people know, people notice.
Yeah, they do.
And it almost is like a pyramid scheme because it's like everyone else hates them, but then they find like other people in their weird little sphere to like sell their shit to, and they just like feed off each other's bullshit.
Yeah, it's really just like the Human Centipede effect. Ugh. Where all their shit is just getting recycled within themselves and nothing is getting solved for them.
No.
They're just getting more and more angry and more toxic.
Some people get rich. Most of them do not.
Yeah. And even if you do, that doesn't make you like cooler or better at all. You know? Like, it really fucking doesn't. And it doesn't change shit. And someone who...
And you still suck.
Yeah, people who are like quality humans won't give a fuck that you're making money if you're still a fucking asshole. No one will really give a fuck at all. And at the end of the day, you're just going to be alone and a fucking loser, and no one will give a shit. And it's because you didn't put anything good or cool or pure out in the universe. You just look like a fucking loser with no soul. Anyway, you're dead to me.
We about the movie?
Sorry, I have very strong feelings about this because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I've dealt with these types of people in my past, cough, cough, and it's not cool. I've been a victim to all these fucking gross ass men. I'm gonna kill you. I'll make it look like a bloody accident. Anyway. Okay. I liked the part where the men were crying. But I don't
I just pictured you having like one sentence on a piece of paper. Just like, I liked the part.
No, but you know what? I do like when men are depicted crying and like having vulnerable moments. That is positive masculinity, you know? Like, hell yeah, go off. But then they ruin it like immediately after. Let's see.
I wrote, a woman could not go to work like this.
Dude, with any no, I was thinking that too.
Absolutely not.
Like, I feel like sometimes, like, you and I were talking about this the other day, how we like show up to work and our hair's wet sometimes.
Wet hair girl, that's me.
Wet hair bitches, because who has time? Who has the fucking time? Stacy and I are gonna sleep in till the very last fucking millisecond.
You think I'm gonna get up early to blow dry my hair? Hell no.
Hell to the nah. I don't care if it's the dead of fucking winter. I'm not blow drying my fucking hair in the morning. And
nor am I going to sleep on it wet. That shit sucks too.
I used to not mind, and I don't mind. I like that feeling, actually, because it keeps me, like, cool.
Oh, my God. It's like a wet-ass, musty pillow.
I kind of like it.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Don't threaten me with a sexy time. No, but wet pillow is what they called me in college. I don't know what that means. Any words?
I don't want to know what that means.
But it's provocative. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, wet hair.
And you like men crying.
My hair doesn't look great anymore if I sleep on it wet. It used to, but now that it's shorter, I have less options. So now there's like different things. Anyways, point is, like, I would think in some corporate situations, if you show up with even slightly wet hair, people are looking at you sideways. And it's like, how does this detract from my fucking my ability to do my job? Yeah, exactly. I do like the part where so he meets Tyler Durden, right? Durden. Yeah, Durden. He meets him on a plane, and the narrator was like, "What do you do?" And Brad Pitt's character is like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "What do you do for a living?" And Brad Pitt's like, "Why? So you can pretend to care?" And I'm like, classic. I hate talking about work, dude. Hate it.
Yeah, it's not common in other parts of the world.
Really?
Yeah. Most people are like, how are you?
What do you like?
Know. Yeah, exactly.
What do you do for fun?
They're not like, what do you do for money?
Yeah, I remember. Exactly. I remember. And it has always stuck in my head because it showed me how different I am from certain people. And these were, again, dude bros. But I was friends with these dudes in high school. Hadn't seen them for years. Saw them at a party. And before they even said hello, they were like, "So what are you doing now? What are you doing for money now?" And I was just like, "You're gross." Yeah. I literally told,
like,
what
nice
I said to them was,
it's been a while.
It's been like 10 years. I just said, "Oh, hello to you too. I'm doing great. How are you?" And I made it so obvious, like, you're so gross, because they're the type of people that's like all they give a fuck about. They care about the blueprint and like what looks good on paper, which is disgusting.
Well, and I don't even think, like, Tyler Durden says you could pretend to care, but I think most people ask that question so they know how to treat you. Which is horrible. They're trying to figure out your class and, like, how much they should respect you.
And I know that's why those dudes were asking me that. And at the time, what was I even doing? I think that's when I was LOL. That's when I was a zombie. I don't know if I brought this up before.
I don't think you have.
So for a short while, I was working at this like old Western town that doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately, called Bonnie Springs.
The capitalists ruined Bonnie Springs. They're gonna build fucking ugly McMansions on it.
I know.
Like, rich people need to live there. They don't.
I know, it fucking sucks, and it's so beautiful, and it was so fun. But during like Halloween time, for like a couple months, they turned it into Bonnie Screams, and they had like haunted houses and all this stuff. It was really cool. And I worked as a zombie in the middle of the desert. So there were like buses that were filled with paintball guns, and people would come through and literally like shoot at us while we were dressed as zombies, like pretending to like invade the bus and shit. And why am I talking about this?
That's what you were doing.
Oh,
so when they were like asking, "What are you doing for a living?" You're like,
yeah, I was like, I can't wait to tell them this. So I like made them feel like shit. And then I was like, oh, and I'm an actor.
And a model.
And
and go fuck yourself.
A literal fucking target, okay? Let's just be fucking real. Which is a whole other actually, we could talk about the fact that I got hit more in certain body parts, like on my fucking vulva and shit, when my hair was down and they could tell that I was a woman.
So dark.
Which is fucking gross. Yeah. Like, it was a weird, dark realization.
Like, you had a weird anthropological experiment that was not good.
Yeah, when I showed, because most of the time, so we were wearing like big masks, so you couldn't tell, and I was wearing like oversized clothes. You couldn't tell, what kind of body I had or anything like that. So people would just like shoot and yeah, it hurt, but whatever. When I had my hair down and it was obvious, or if I was wearing something a little bit tighter that day or whatever, that's when I got shot way more. I'm talking like at least 3 times more.
That's so
and
bad.
It scared the absolute fuck out of me, because most people in these buses were men. And
And you said you saw like the crazy violence and bloodlust in their eyes.
They would literally like yell, like they were yelling, like calling us names. Like it was fucking weird. It was so weird, and it gives me like chills thinking about it now, because it's like there's so much hate for women, and men do not even like. People just don't get it. Like some people are like, well, yeah, people hate women, but like, no, it's like you don't get it. Women are murdered fucking constantly just because they're women, whether trans or cis or whatever. You know, like it's so fucking gross. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation, but it relates to this. Exactly.
Violence. It's the name of this game.
That's the name of this game, baby. Yeah. I also wrote payphones. Holy shit.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. When he calls Tyler and he's like, my apartment just blew up. Can I stay with you? Basically.
Yeah. I was just like, God, when will we ever have to use a payphone again, you know?
And that's when they have their like little conversation in the diner about how hard it is to be men, and that
lol.
And then they start fighting, and they're like, and then Edward Norton has this dumb speech about how he's like, oh, before we were like weak ass pussies, but then we started fighting and now we're strong. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, what does that even mean though? It's like, okay, now you can take a punch. So what?
Yeah.
Someone could shoot you in the fucking head. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Like Tyler Durden was like, how much can you know about yourself if you've never gotten into a fight?
Which so many dudes are like, yeah. It's like, think about what, that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. The first fight I ever got in, like the first actual fight I ever got into, I was 23, 22. So you're telling me before 22, I knew nothing about myself. I didn't know what kind of person I fucking was.
Yeah, it's
at
like,
all.
why would you because you're like in danger, because you're like being threatened. Yeah, welcome to being a lady. You feel danger and threatened all the time. Okay,
right.
You don't need like make up situations to be like, whoa.
Yeah, we came out of the womb with like keys in between our fingers while walking.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like we are constantly having to be on the fucking lookout, and we're constantly texting each other being like, are you okay? Did you show up? Send me his address. Send me a picture of this guy that you're meeting up with, because haha, who fucking knows?
He might kill me. Like that famous stat where it's like they polled like dating site users about like their biggest fears about using the app. And women's biggest fear was that they would be murdered. And men's biggest fear was that the woman would be fatter or uglier than her dating picture led them to believe.
I'm their worst nightmare.
Moment of silence for that crazy ass fact about the world.
You told me that years ago, and it has stuck with me because it just it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense that that's men's worst fears versus women's worst fears.
Yeah, so the fact that men are like, no, like you actually need to like make up a situation where you feel scared to like, it's like, oh, give me a break.
Yeah, and then at the end, like we said, spoiler alert, literally the narrator is literally just fucking hitting himself.
Yeah.
Like that's the funniest part about it is like, okay, you're scary like all by yourself, bro.
Developments. I guess eventually he starts fighting other people, but for a while it's just him.
But it like started with just him like fucking himself the fuck up.
And he's like, wow, I'm a real boy.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, you're so cool. How much do you know about yourself now that you're a fucking idiot? Cool. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. So they start talking about the rules of the Fight Club. We all know.
We've all heard about Fight Club. You don't talk about Fight Club. You don't talk about Fight Club. We're being such haters. I love it.
Listen, it's chill. Like the movie's all right, but it's not all it's cracked up to be, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I do think it's one of those things where it's like it's not even the movie itself, really. It's that people took it so seriously and based their personality off of it.
That's what it really is.
And changed their like philosophy based on after watching this movie, and it's like no.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm gonna be totally real with everyone for a second, okay?
Be real, girl.
I hate that I'm attracted to people who can fight. I'm very, very attracted to that.
Do you mean like
and
UFC
I hate that about
fighters
myself.
or just like scrappy bar fighters?
No, like scrappy bar fighters.
You're like, they're strong.
And maybe it's because like here's my theory. I was thinking about this a lot today because I was like I hate all the violence in this movie, and I was like, I fucking hate when people are so violent. And then I remembered like, but sometimes when people are like, yeah, and I got in a fight with this fucking dude because, well, I'm like, oh, And I'm like so attracted to, and so I was really like very introspective today, trying to think about why. And I think I nailed it. I think the reason why I specifically am attracted to it is because I am the really protective friend. Like, I'm always the person that's trying to protect other people, like, physically from harm.
So you see it as, like, a willingness to care for others.
Yeah. And I think, like, I know, like, you would be there if someone were, like, threatening me or whatever. But, like, in a general sense, I don't think a lot of people would, like, actually present their body as, like, a shield and be like, fuck you, I'm gonna, like, be on your side in this way. I don't think a lot of people would fucking do that in my life. But if I hear a dude being like, I remember this one time I went on a date with this dude and we went to a concert and this dude kept like pushing. He was like really drunk and he kept pushing me. He didn't mean to, but he kept pushing me. And the dude I was on a date with was like 6'4", almost 6'5", and he was all yadded and he was like so hot. And he like walks up to the dude. He's like, hey, if you fucking touch her again, blah, blah, blah. And he like immediately threatened him, which is like chill, but I was like, wet. Okay. God. Like immediately. And I hate that about myself.
Well, we can cut this out if this is too deep. But I think it's probably because you had the horrible experience where you were jumped at a party and nobody did anything.
You're right. That's exactly. Yeah. If you get, you know what? Let's talk about it. I don't like violent men at all. When I think I was 16. I went to a frat party, unfortunately.
Oh no, already going to end in tears.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Also, yeah, this is like trigger warning if you don't like violence and.
Well, this whole fucking movie's a trigger warning.
That's true. That's true. You know what? Yeah. So scratch that. But yeah, I went to a frat party and I got drunk because I didn't know what I was doing. This dude got me drunk, and we were like dancing. He was trying to take me upstairs. I was telling him no, and he's like, "But I want to fuck," and I was like, "I'm a virgin. Like I don't." I was so drunk, and I was still saying no, which
you shouldn't even been asking.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, he ended up like kicking me to the floor and then like kicking and beating the dog shit out of me, and my ribs were all like bruised.
In front of a house full of people. I was
a house full of men.
But the story enrages me.
Yeah, a house full of men, and even like a handful of my friends who I understand were also like young women. Like, what the fuck could they do in the scenario? And they probably don't even remember. Like, even one of my best friends was there and she does not remember this at all. So she was probably like fucking gone.
Yeah, true. Everyone's probably in gonzo burrito.
So I can't blame anyone there. But like I did feel like so alone. And I remember waking up the next day being so ashamed. And I didn't tell anyone for a long time. And like, yeah, like that shit sucks. And like women face that shit all the time. And that wasn't even that bad. Like that was gross and horrible. And I shouldn't have gone through that. Like little Shea did not deserve that. But like, wow. Like people deal with that shit all the time. So yeah, I would love if like somebody would be as protective towards me as I am towards them. Like I think any
like
of my
ladies, to the point of putting their very bodies on the line.
Right.
Like not just talk.
Right, exactly. And people talk a lot of talk, but don't actually show up when it's real. Mm-hmm. And I can attest that I am that type of bitch. Okay, ask Stacy. That's when right. I fucking almost killed a guy in Florida because of her.
Grabbed him by the face.
Yep, dude, that's like one of my best. That picture is worth
somehow
$1 million.
We got a picture of her grabbing this French asshole by the face.
Dude, that's a whole.
It's incredible.
We've never talked about that, have we?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, that's a whole other conversation, but basically someone captured $1 million photo it was like a drunk dude on like, Becca's phone,
LOL, and took a beautiful photo.
It's only because he stole Becca's phone. Becca didn't even know where her phone was. He stole Becca's phone and took a picture of it because he was like, ha ha ha. And it is like my favorite fucking picture of all time.
And then I'm like blurry in the background looking like a goddamn demon. Like my eyes are glowing. It is the best picture of all time.
See, I never picture you like, I think you're like excited. You're like, she's gonna beat your ass.
But I look terrifying.
I mean, I can see why you're saying that.
I'm like a smear of a person with glowing eyes. And like
your hands are like on my shoulders.
Yeah, and you're like, what is that?
You kind of do look like you're
That's what I mean. It's like out of context. You'd be like, what is that? What the fuck?
And then you see me grabbing his face, and then with the other hand, I'm holding like 3,000.
I'm like the devil on your shoulder.
And you're like, yes, like, read his ass. Read his ass, see my ass. Oh my god. Oh. But anyway, I would put my life on the line for any of my girls. Literally, go fuck yourself. I will murder you. And I would hope that someone would do that for me. And that's why I think I'm attracted to it.
Makes sense.
Wow, that was a whole therapy session. Glad we're back.
Thank you for coming, everyone.
Oh, I just blew this out again. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Where was I? Let's see. I said not a ton happens in the middle 2 hours.
Honestly,
exaggeration.
You know what the whole movie reminds me of?
What?
The video "Dirty" by Christina Aguilera.
Yeah, like that tone and like the visuals.
What year did it come out? 1999, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, her video came out in 2002, so I think she was inspired.
That makes sense.
I really do.
'Cause she's fighting in that shit.
I was also in a music video that was about a like women's underground fight club.
Oh yeah.
Yep, it's called Queens by Veronica Cooper. So you guys
Check
look it up.
Out. Put that on the playlist after the Collins album.
Hell yes. And ew, fucking Tyler after he fucks wait, what's her name? Marla. After he fucks Marla, he's literally wearing rubber gloves. Yeah. And then he's like, "Do you want to just like finish her off?" I'm like, "You're such a dick."
But his abs in that scene.
Okay, let me tell you. I would lick anything off of those abs.
I was like, oh.
I don't even like abs, but I think he's so fucking hot.
He is really hot.
He's so in every movie.
Yeah, he's just a beautiful human.
The hottest that I think I've ever seen him is in Inglourious Bastards.
Yes, so hot.
So
I like him like a little grizzled and Ad Astra too, where he's like the grizzled astronaut. I don't think I actually even saw it, but I just saw the preview and I was like,
in which movie?
It's called Ad Astra, I believe.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
He like goes to space, but
God, he's
all like
so
salt and pepper.
Hot. Yeah, he's very fucking hot.
One of the speeches that I actually did agree with.
I wonder if it's the same one
that I
have.
think that they're actually getting to the heart of the matter. Is it's Brad Pitt in one of the many, and that's the thing. There's so many fucking like Fight Club scenes where it's like
which there doesn't need to be. Yeah.
At some point, he's like, "Oh, we grew up with media that told us that we were all going to be rock stars and actors and famous rich people, and we're not, and we're mad." And I'm like, that actually is what's going on.
True.
Like, admit it. You're just mad.
Yeah.
Because you were sold a lie.
Yeah.
And you're mad that it didn't come true.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know if it's the same speech, but it seems like it's like in relation. He says, and advertising has us chasing cars and clothes and working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. And I was like,
all that's true.
All of that is very true.
But is the solution to objectify women and kill each other? I don't think so.
No.
Also, I was dying laughing when they were like, one of their assignments for Fight Club was to pick a fight with a random person.
LOL.
And I was just like, oh, you can tell this is 1999 before like mass shootings happened every other day. Because nowadays, try it.
Yeah.
You'd be fucking dead.
Yeah, you would be literally fucking iced, baby.
You think it's a fun game in 99. Fast forward 23, your ass getting popped.
See, and this is where the movie lost me. When all this shit started happening.
I know. I was like,
homework assignments.
Yeah, the ranking and the people and that. I was like, get that fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, this is way too long of a movie. It literally could have been an hour and a half. They could have made it a perfect time, and they fucking didn't. They fucked it up. I was like, homework assignment, fight a total stranger and lose? And like all capital letters with like 1,000 question marks. I'm like, what the fuck? Also must say, like the makeup artists on these shits and the effects artists, fucking fuego. Like even like there was the part where he beats, or the narrator beats the absolute fuck out of himself in his boss's office. Yes, evil and brilliant. But he like picks himself up and he has like broken glass on the sides of his hands, and I'm just like, yeah, like that like looks so real. Like how the fuck do they do this shit? It's amazing.
That's where that 60 mil went.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. All the broken fucking glass. I said, handing out homework assignments in sealed envelopes. Lol, I wish I had unhinged homework. That'd be sick.
I do think there's something to having a purpose in life.
Yes.
A lot of these dudes need something to do.
That's what it is. And there was a big part, you know, where I actually don't remember the exact line, but it was towards the beginning where I think the narrator was talking to Helena Bonham Carter, and it's like the first time that they're ever talking, and he's saying, Marla, right? Okay. They're having a conversation. She's just like, why do you go? And he basically says, like, because people actually listen to me, or like they're not just trying to like wait until you're done to be able to say what they want to say. And I'm like, at the end of it, you just want to be heard. That's really what it is. That's all that this is.
Yeah, just talk to somebody.
Yeah, like you don't have to do
exactly. You don't have to start a nationwide anarchist network. Like what?
I'm like, it's a little much, you guys. Do less, like you said.
It's a lot.
Do much less.
It comes a little desperate.
Yeah, you're a little desperado.
Even the reveal of him being like, "Oh, I'm Tyler Durden," was like, I just thought kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like it takes so long.
It takes way too long.
And he's like researching and investigating. I'm like, just.
You could have gotten there so much earlier.
Like I think there could have been a really cool, snappier way to do that.
Yeah, it was just stretched way too long. It didn't have to be a big ass, but like there were so many scenes of them in that fucking house just like watching TV and talking and doing all this dumb shit that doesn't matter and didn't help the story at all. I also wrote possible blockbuster sighting.
Where?
There was a scene, I don't know, there was like a scene somewhere towards the end where it showed like, I don't even know, it just like kind of flashed in and I was like,
was that Blockbuster?
It could have been either Hollywood Video or Blockbuster, but I was like, either way, it's a video store.
It was a certain video rental store.
Yeah, it's a video rental store. But your host with the most late fees wasn't there.
And I hate it.
I said the dude feeding pigeons to have them shit all over cars is fucking amazing. That is
pretty funny.
And brilliant, and I love pigeons so much.
Feed the birds, tuppence a bag.
And, there was a part where Tyler Durden was eating an apple, and then he just, like, threw it out in the street, and I was like, I can relate.
Do we want to tell that story real quick?
Sure. Okay. You can go ahead.
So, for a while, because Shea and I lived, like, weirdly far from our high school, like, it was weird. It took, like, a 20-minute drive to get to high school, so we'd carpool.
Yep.
So, Shea's mom would bring her to my house, and then my mom would drive us to school. And there was a period of time, randomly... where we kept finding apple cores in our driveway. Just like
every day.
Just like every day. Alone driveway. And my mom was like, who's doing that? And I don't know how she figured it out. She goes, will you tell Shane to stop throwing apple cores in our driveway? And I was like, yeah, sure thing. Like I was a kid, so I didn't get like how weird and annoying that was.
Those are my two best
hey, Shay, my mom says you have to stop throwing apple cores in her driveway. Like, I didn't really give a fuck, but I was like, she doesn't like it. And then I think, weren't you like, that's not me?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what you're doing. I was like, what kind of a psychopath would do that?
And then it changed to, well, they're biodegradable.
I'm like, environmental.
Yeah.
And then who said it? My
Your
mom?
mom goes, mental is right.
Yeah.
It was like a fucking
that was a fire line, I gotta say. But yes, dude, I did so much dumb shit. Like one time I stole Stacy's shoes and then I straight up told her like, no, I didn't. And she's like, I saw you wearing them. They're pink. They're bright pink. And I'm like, yeah, my mom bought me the same ones because. And
I
it's
was like, no, those are mine. And then you're like, well, my mom threw away all my other shoes.
You're like, no, she didn't.
Like, well, no, I think I was just like, why would she do that?
But she didn't though. And it's so funny how dumb we are.
I was just like, okay, well, I guess they're yours now.
My mom threw away all of my, like, what kind of a lie? What? Why are you lying about that?
But it's funny that as kids we believe that our parents are capable of illogical and inhumane acts that I probably was just like, oh, that's sucks.
Because you know what? We knew some other parents who did throw away lots of personal belongings for no reason.
I had a parent throw away my clothes that I left at their house.
Yes.
And I was like, wow. Those were not your clothes.
Yeah, not cool. Really not fucking cool. So I don't blame Stacy for, not putting it past my parents. Let's see what else I got.
And I'm basically out of notes after this, except the iconic musical ending of the Pixie song is good.
Dude, I'm so lucky that I saw that live. I've seen that song being performed live. I'm so fucking lucky, dude.
It's iconic.
And it's such an interesting one. Mm-hmm. It makes sense, but it's interesting that they chose Pixies,
Mm-hmm. Where is my mind?
Where's my mind? Yeah, I think I pretty much... I have a lot of notes here, but they're all kind of like dog shit. Oh, I hated that Bob died. Fuck the police.
Yeah.
And I love that, Tyler, you're the worst thing that ever happened to me, lol.
I know.
And
you know some bad things have happened to Marla.
Yeah, bad. Real bad. Oh, I also have another fun fact.
Ooh.
Really quick. Okay. So, there's a scene where he's at the beginning. He's in this like guided meditation in a cave.
Oh yeah, with the penguin.
And his breath is CGI that they used from literally Titanic.
Really?
Like Leonardo DiCaprio, his breath.
Interesting.
Titanic. They like I don't know
like
I don't know how
just
that
borrow
works.
that from Jimmy Cameron.
Yeah, they're just like Yep.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
Interesting.
I also have some other ones. Hold on. I wrote them in my phone here. Another couple fun facts. Yeah.
Well, while you're looking, I will share that I believe the mental disorder that Edward Norton is supposed to be portrayed as having is dissociative identity disorder.
Right.
Which, again, I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist or anything, but I do have to know about these things for my EUB.
Yep.
And I learned that it's actually very controversial as to whether this disorder actually exists. It hasn't been, like, studied enough. But it would never manifest itself in the way that this movie portrays, where someone would, like, actively hallucinate their alternative identity doing other things, because the whole point of dissociative identity disorder is that you are disassociating and you are not necessarily aware of what you're doing.
Totally.
So I just thought that was interesting that they're like kicked it up a notch to where he's like fully like interacting with this separate person, because that'd be more schizophrenia.
Right.
Which maybe has a combo of both.
Maybe.
But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that it was.
If it was a combo of both, I think that they would portray it a different way too.
Yeah, there's just like a lot of weird portrayals about like quote unquote split personality disorder that are like not accurate, harmful to people who might actually have these disorders, because they're like, you're a crazy violent person and you never know what you're gonna. And it's like, whoa.
Like no, that's a stigma that shouldn't exist at all.
And it really just comes as a result of like severe trauma. In your brain wanting to dissociate so badly that you like literally like black out. You lose periods of time. You escape into another identity.
Right. And that identity is supposed to like protect you in one way or another. Whatever or however many identities there are, they're supposed to be protecting you in one way or another. Yep. I've actually looked up a lot about DID before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a lot of like YouTubers that have it, and they like go into depth about like, you know, I don't know, just about their experiences, and it's really, really interesting.
Yeah, and the like losing time part would be really scary.
Yes.
Like just to feel like there's a whole swath of time that have been like taken from you that you don't have any memory of. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like a shit ton of,
suck.
Depending on how many other like identities they have, it could be a long time before they come back to the surface, like, which is scary, really scary. I don't know how true this is, but it said David Fincher claimed in an interview in UK film magazine Empire that there's a Starbucks coffee cup visible in every shot in the movie.
What? Ay.
I know.
Wow.
Yep.
That'd be maddening to be like, where's the coffee cup?
I know, like, everyone's like,
yeah. Goddamn.
And then let me make sure I have. Okay, yeah, those were all the fun facts I had. But yeah, overall. Wait, did you have anything else?
No, that was it.
Okay, well, overall, I understand why a lot of men love it. I don't. I understand, but I don't love it, you know?
Yeah, I think where I'm at is I love the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, me too.
They're so good.
They're very good.
So strong.
And I love the last song.
And the last song's
very good.
The middle?
No. And there's some funny parts. Like, some parts made me, like, chuckle a little. But
yeah, like, some of the messaging I agree with. Absolutely. Men are sold a lie. Consumerism sucks. Capitalism is the worst.
Yeah.
Like, all that. Yeah, I rocks with it.
But then all the rest is like holiday hoobie wuddy.
Yeah, the visually, like visually, some parts are cool, but like you said,
Yeah.
the violence, it's like it is over the top. It is just like to gross you out at a certain point.
Yeah, it's just like, I think Ebert really nailed it on the head when he said it was, what did he say?
Macho porn.
Macho porn. Really, it really is. Like, truly. Very male-led masturbatory dog shit in a lot of ways. But
Yeah, in other ways, very cool. But
it can be very cool as well.
like I said, the fact that people base their entire personalities off of it is not good.
Exactly.
Ask yourself, bros, who are you beyond your love of Fight Club?
Yeah. And I don't think anyone that listens to this is like, my favorite movie of all time.
Who knows?
But
Who
if it is,
knows?
it's cool. We can have a difference of opinion. But yeah, ask yourself why it means so much to you. How do you relate to the content of that movie? And how are you going to fight inherent violence towards like women in real life?
Yeah.
With what you know from the movie. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, are you ready for trivia?
I'm ready.
Cool. Okay. What animal did the narrator see in the cave during his guided meditation?
Penguins. And they say, slide.
Yes,
Which I think is cute.
How many rules are there in Fight Club?
3?
8.
Oh my god. There's 8?
Yeah. I'll tell you them. Actually,
Okay,
I
I'm so
wrote them down.
excited.
1 and 2 are both, we don't talk about Fight Club.
Nice.
3rd is if someone taps out or yells stop or goes limp, the fight is over. 4th, 2 guys to a fight. The 5th rule is 1 fight at a time. 6th rule is no shirts, no shoes. 7th is fights will go on as long as they have to. And 8th is first night at Fight Club, or the first night at Fight Club, you have to fight.
Okay. Wow. I do, like, once you said that, I was like, yeah, I do remember those. I had no idea there was 8, though. Wow.
But, like, the first 2 are the same one, and then the 3rd, you know. So
I feel like people only remember the first 2.
Yeah. Yeah. What picture does Tyler Durden place inside movie reels?
A big old penis.
Period. What does Tyler do for a living?
He does a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I guess his main, most lucrative gig is making soap.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really important at all.
Kind of gross.
It's just really gross. What name does Tyler give his group of anti-consumerist pranksters?
Oh my god, I don't remember. That's probably when I was not paying attention.
It's like Fight Club, and then there was another one. Once they were like shaving their heads and like, you know, spewing bullshit.
I don't know. They just called like the army or some shit.
Project Mayhem.
Project Mayhem. Oh, I didn't know that's what they were. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
And then lastly, how does Tyler get destroyed?
This is another...
Yeah.
So, the solution to this dissociative identity disorder, for some reason, is that Edward Norton shoots himself in the head, which, like, kills Tyler. Doesn't make any sense.
No.
But I guess maybe it's like he gave himself a lobotomy.
Kind of, because
In a
I
way.
think he shot, like, it's weird because here's what I'm confused about. In the scene where, like, you know, Brad Pitt is, like, standing in front of him, he has the gun inside of his mouth and he shoots, right? But if you did that, you would for sure die.
I mean, not necessarily.
Really?
It's honestly crazy how many people try to shoot themselves in the head and live.
Okay. Well, I was just confused because when he, like, actually comes to and, like, you know, Brad Pitt isn't there. It just looks like there's like a shot right here.
Yeah, I think it like went off to the side and
Okay.
exited his cheek.
Got it. Okay.
But when it shows Brad Pitt, it like exited the back of his head. It just doesn't.
Right. That's
it
what I'm like,
doesn't make
huh?
a lot of sense.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, that's how he's destroyed.
Yes. Well, you nailed it.
Yeah. Thanks. I didn't
Yeah, no
nail it
problem.
at all. I
No,
didn't know most
you
of
did-
those.
you-
But
yeah,
thank
you
you
knew
for the
most of them.
wonderful trivia questions. And I found a BuzzFeed for which Fight Club character are you?
Wow. Okay.
Ooh, this is a good first question. What's your favorite sweet treat? Low-fat vegan cookies ordered from a catalog. Sweet treats are a reflection of your enslavement to capitalism. Candy. Whatever takes the edge off.
Whatever takes the edge off.
Oh.
I'm more of like a baked good sort of bitch.
yeah.
You know, like cake. That
Cake,
sounds
cake,
great.
cake. Yeah. How do you spend your free time? Shopping, plotting, thinking too much, hanging out with friends.
Hanging out with friends. Hee hee.
What's your idea of a great first date? Going to a restaurant? Support group, anyone? I don't go on dates. Going to a movie.
Going to a restaurant. Going to eat, grabbing a meal, having a nice combo.
Okay. Going to a restaurant. Pick your favorite Fight Club quote. You are not special. You are not a beautiful or unique snowflake. You're the same decaying organic matter as everything else. You're the worst thing that's ever happened to me. This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time. I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Bleak. What was the second one?
You're the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
That one's funny. I guess I'll choose that one.
What keeps you motivated? Owning things, nihilism, following a leader, not sure anymore. Those are the only 4 options. Yikes.
I hate that. All of them suck.
Yeah.
I guess I'll say like not so sure anymore, but I say it in like a positive way.
Yeah, right?
I don't fucking know.
Pick a movie. The Social Network, The Dark Knight, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, or The Master.
Eternal Sunshine.
Ugh, yes.
For sure.
What's for
That's
dinner?
interesting.
Revenge. Anything as long as I can get it delivered. Anything free. Sandwich.
Wait, what was the question?
What's for dinner?
Sandwich.
Yummy. Pick one. Power, meaning, friendship, love.
Love.
Pick a feline. House cat, lion, bobcat, cheetah.
House cat.
Meow. If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be? Capitalism. The world will never change. Everything. Corrupt leaders in power.
Well, I think if we got rid of capitalism, then we'd get rid of a lot of evil people in power.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm so excited for your results. You are Marla Singer.
What?
You are constantly on the fence between being a raging firecracker and slipping into a state of lethargic sadness. You still believe in love even when the world has done nothing but prove to you that it doesn't exist. Does that make you a romantic or a glutton for punishment?
Both.
In the picture is the iconic scene of her smoking at the sport group.
That's fucking badass as
Yes.
hell. Cool. I love it.
Okay, I'm going to toss this to you.
Okay.
Well, maybe I shouldn't do that overhand.
Got it. Nailed it. Okay, here we go. What's your favorite sweet treat?
Candy.
I also love candy. How do you spend your free time? Shopping, plotting, thinking too much, or hanging out with friends?
Thinking too much.
You do think a lot. You're a thinker. What's your idea of a great first date?
Movie.
I
remember all these, I think.
Pick your favorite Fight Club quote.
I also like, you're the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I'm going to do that.
It's good. What keeps you motivated?
Nothing. Or
Not sure anymore.
Not sure anymore. Yeah, God.
Pick a movie.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
What's for dinner? What's for dinner?
What's for dinner? Okay, read me these ones again.
I think I know which one you're going to choose, but it's revenge, anything as long as I can get it delivered, anything free, or sandwich.
Anything free.
Yep.
I'm like, when people complain about free food, I like can't handle it.
Me neither. It's so annoying. Pick one. Power, meaning, friendship, or love.
Friendship.
Hee hee. Pick a feline. House cat, lion, bobcat, or cheetah.
I like bobcat.
And if you could change one thing about the world, what would it be?
Everything.
You're Marla Singer too.
Oh my God, we're both Marla.
Hell yeah. I think this is the first time we got the same one.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, the only woman, actually in the whole series, because the other one
you're so
literally
right.
died. The only other woman died that had any lines.
Wow, we got into some deep shit today.
We really did. Okay, let's take a breath, everybody. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Very nice.
Great.
Listen, we love you guys. And there's lots of men in our life that we love.
Yeah.
We just don't like the toxic, bullshit that society gives to us on a shitty, gross, masculine platter. You know?
We like the men who see us as full human beings.
Yeah, like people that respect us and treat us with kindness and don't want to beat the shit out of anybody.
Mm-hmm. We love to see it.
We love to see it. And we love you guys. And we can't wait till the next episode, which is going to be very special.
We're going to have a very special guest.
We're having a very special guest.
The movie is Mulholland Drive, if you want to watch it before then.
Yeah. Maybe we should start doing that.
Yeah.
Unless we really want to like surprise y'all. But yeah, Mulholland Drive is going to be next. And we're having a very special guest who is very near and dear to Stacy and my hearts. We kind of call him our like film guru. He's very much like someone who is a lover of film and just very cool. And we'll talk way more about him next episode, but get yourselves prepared. I don't know anything about Mulholland Drive other than it's confusing.
It is truly the most mind-fucking movie I've ever seen.
Really?
Hands down.
Sheesh. Okay. Well,
I've never been more like, what?
Like, what the fuck? And that's all I know about it. I don't know anything about I don't know.
It's dark. It's weird. I can't wait.
Well.
But it's got some truly beautiful scenes, in my opinion.
Really? Okay. Well, I can't wait to watch it. I've never seen it. I don't know dick about it, so we'll see you guys
Don't
next
read
time.
anything about it. Just fucking go in there and
I will.
prepare that mind.
I will. I'm not going to look at anything. Doink,
It's
doink,
gonna
doink,
get
doink.
fed. Just get it ready.
Beautiful. Well, you guys get ready with me so we can all just experience it together. But we love you very much.
We love you.
You are so special, and you're just the best, especially for listening to this. And
You're cool and hot. Congrats.
mwah.
Bye.
Hey, love you. Bye.
Thank you to our producer Brent for his editing skills and to Grady for our delightful theme song.
If you have questions for us or would like to advertise with us, please email us at blockbusterwives@gmail.com.
And as always, please rate, subscribe, and tell all your friends about us.
We love you.